What's happening, guys? I'm TechSource. Welcome to Setup Wars episode 208, the show where we show off some of the best and most interesting setups to give you inspiration and tips on how to improve your own. If you guys want to be a part of the show, make sure to watch the video link down below. But with that said, let the Setup Wars begin. Before we begin, I want to give a huge thanks to Surfshark VPN for sponsoring today's video. You know, in the sea of online content, there's a lot of websites out there that can actually take your personal info without you even knowing it. But guess what? You can swim under the radar using Surfshark VPN. You can stop websites from tracking your info and selling targeted ads to you. Plus, with Surfshark's HackLock ID protection, you'll get an alert when some noob tries to break into your email. But I gotta say, one of my favorite features of Surfshark is that you can see content that is not available in your area. Guys, I'm obsessed with the show Family Guy, but for some reason not clear to mankind, it's not available in the US. So what do? I log into Surfshark, change my location to any of the following supported countries, and boom, I now have access to Family Guy. So if you want both protection and freedom online while helping support the channel, make sure to click the link down below and use the code TechSource. Not only do you get 85% off the regular price, but you also get 3 months of free service. Also, there is a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there is no risk to try it out. Starting out the show is Ezekiel, who is a weeb from the US. It's pretty obvious he's into anime, so he built a setup to reflect that. He uses this for gaming, homework, and media consumption, and he does this all on a single 24-inch AOC monitor. He's also rocking the RK61 60% keyboard and the Razer Death Adder Elite mouse. Really good choice on the keyboard, by the way. It's a solid option for anyone that's on a budget, but still wants a solid 60% keyboard. In fact, I reviewed this on the channel a while back, so check it out if you guys are interested. He did keep the setup very minimal. We got a single Bluetooth speaker that he uses mostly for listening to music, while the Pasanomi earbuds are for gaming and watching movies. It looks like he has them hanging from the side, and he used some tape to hold the wire underneath the desk. Personally, I would have ran the cable from the right side of the desk instead, so it's not as visible. And besides, your PC is closer this way, saving you in having to use an extension cable. I also noticed that you have a few things next to your PC that's out in the open. What you can do is buy a tiny desk drawer and store these in there when you're not using them. I picked up a few of these for my setup as well, and it's the perfect solution in keeping your desk clutter-free instead of having to buy a large pencil drawer. I am liking the wall shelves he installed up top with a few collectibles and some posters to give the setup a bit of personality. It even carries through to his custom PC that he built inside the NZXT H510. It's packing the Ryzen 5 3600 and RX 5700, a pretty decent budget build for a budget setup. With some minor tweaks, I'm sure you can improve this even more. Thank you, Ezekiel, for starting up the show. Speaking of clean setups, check out Harrison's setup from North Carolina. He's only 15 years old and he's already working as a lifeguard. This is the setup that he bought and built himself, and he uses it for gaming, streaming, and making YouTube videos. He's rocking dual 27-inch ViewSonic monitors on what appears to be an IKEA Carbly countertop. He also drilled a hole in the desk to route the cable for both the Black Widow X Chroma keyboard and the Razer Mamba gaming mouse. Nicely done. For audio, he's using a soundbar from Elegant for media consumption and the Arctis 7 Pro headset for gaming that he has hanging underneath the desk. I gotta say, I do like the placement of the boom arm that's holding up his Blue Yeti microphone. He can just simply tuck it away on the side when he's not using it. Right next to his Nintendo Switch is a pre-built iBuyPower PC that he picked up 4 years ago, but he is planning on buying a better PC really soon, and in the meantime he threw in a GTX 1050 Ti in there so that he doesn't rely on the integrated graphics card from the CPU. I don't have any complaints when it comes to cable management. Looks like everything is under control thanks to the Signum rack from IKEA. However, it is lacking a bit of spice. I can appreciate you adding a few acoustic panels on the wall, but it doesn't really contribute anything to the setup, nor does it provide any effective sound dampening. You could always pick up a few more of those and come up with a pretty cool design, or use another color to kind of mix it up a little bit. But aside from that, I think you built yourself a super clean and organized setup. Thank you, Harrison, for entering. Coming from deep in the jungle somewhere in New York is Maximus and his super unique nature-themed setup. He's a videographer and editor, and this is the setup he uses for content creation and gaming. Right off the bat, I'm already blown away by the presentation. There's definitely a lot going on here, and I just love how unique it is compared to other setups I've seen. Looks like he built the setup on top of an IKEA Saljon countertop with an Oddwald Tresso's leg and one Alex Jor as support. I also noticed that he went with a white Alex Jor to match the wall instead of a black one to match the desk colors. Interesting choice. He's rocking dual stacked monitors with a 25-inch Alienware on the bottom and a 24-inch Asus display up top as an overhead. And below that, we got the Razer Black Widow paired with the Viper Ultimate mouse and a Goliathus extended mousepad to complete the set. For audio, he's got a few options. The Razer Kraken X in Mercury White is more of a backup headset, while the Razer Nari Essential in combination with the Yeti Nano microphone is used for streaming and editing videos. Harrison stated in the notes that he will be mounting both monitors to the wall and that he will use the backboard on the bottom to hide the cables, so that is why there hasn't been any cable management yet. The PC powering the setup is a custom build featuring the Ryzen 7 3700X and the EVGA RTX 2080 Super that's built inside the Corsair 465X RGB case. Now there are a few things that you could do to the PC to improve the aesthetic and performance, by the way. First off, you have way too many intake fans. The front three should be enough for intake, so I would swap the top two for exhaust instead for better thermals. Second, you can pick up some custom cables for the PC or maybe even a custom backplate to cover that nasty PCB. Other than the PC, the rest of the setup definitely has a lot of creativity and personality. I just love what he did with the entire wall on the left side. He mixed it up with some nanoleaf canvas panels and vinyl records, which I haven't seen before, not to mention that entire wooden backboard with leaves around the border. Absolutely stunning setup. Thank you, Harrison, for sharing this with us. Up next is William from Canada and his productivity setup. He's a private school baller, and it seems like he is all work and no play. He uses this setup for homework and video production. He's rocking an ultra-wide monitor from LG for editing, while the 2019 4K iMac is used for homework and other tasks. I guess this is one way to dive boredom. For peripherals, he went all wireless. We got the Apple trackpad, keyboard, and a couple of mice, the MX Master 3, and the Apple mouse that's been skinned. I love that he wrote in the notes that Windows sucks. At first I was wondering why you have a mic setup since you don't play games or stream, but then I realized that you make videos on YouTube. So, you know what? Let's check out a few of your videos.
In the past few years, Intel and Apple has always been cooperating and working together in Apple's computers.
No way this dude is rocking shades on his YouTube video. This kid's swag is off the charts. He is better dressed in this YouTube video than I was at my own wedding. I am loving your swag and your confidence. You know what, dude? Not only am I gonna like your video, but I'm also gonna subscribe with my channel. So he's currently at 158 subscribers. Let's see if we can get this guy to 1,000 by the end of today. William, I'm gonna show you the power of the PC Master Race, and maybe after you hit 1,000 subscribers, you'll consider building a custom PC. Thanks for entering. Wrapping up the episode is Zach from Slovenia and another clean setup with dual displays. We have a 27-inch Asus monitor for gaming and a 24-inch from Samsung for secondary and multitasking. He built the setup on top of a Lemon tabletop and two Alex Jors as support, and it looks like he was going for a black on white themed setup. For peripherals, he went with the Asus ROG Claymore keyboard with the glorious Model D. However, I think a white keyboard would have been perfect for this color scheme. It would have given you that nice contrast, especially since you're using a black mousepad. For audio, Zach is using the HyperX Cloud 2 headset for gaming, but he is using a dedicated mic setup for input. By the way, if you want another option for mounting that boom arm, you can pick up a tiny wall shelf and mount it behind your monitor and clamp the boom arm on that shelf, providing you with a longer reach and more flexibility. You can also hide the cable a lot better since you can route it behind the monitor. Just another option for you. Speaking of cables, if you guys are running multiple monitor setups, you can run the cable across each monitor using cable clips and down the center monitor behind the stand to hide the wires, just like how Zach did for his setup. The rest of the cables under the desk are hidden using a giant raceway, and even attached the power strip up there. Nice work. And finally, the PC behind the setup is an NZXT build packing the i7 8700K, which he overclocked to 4.9 GHz, and the GTX 1070 Ti. I like that he used the NZXT Velcro strap to tie the GPU cables together. Super clean build overall with a clean setup. Thank you, Zach, for entering. And that does it for this episode. As always, let me know which of these setups was your favorite by commenting down below. If you guys enjoyed the episode, consider leaving a like and subscribe for more setup wars every single Monday. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.